Okay guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be putting everything we've learned so far, from the head tone, the body tone, the hand tone, the leg tone. We're going to be putting all of them together. I'll be using everything we've learned to create this character. Okay, so we're going to be doing a complete character creation in this particular training. So I want you to relax and follow me carefully. It's going to be a lengthy tutorial, so I want you to follow me very much carefully. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just crop this character out. Just make a crop, center it, and then I'm going to push her in, scale her up so that we can see her very well. Okay, so let's get into our layer. From our layer window, first thing we'll do is to fix this into a group and call this our girl. Next, we'll enable animated layer ordering for this group. Alright, next we'll convert it into a bone. Alright, so in here we're going to fix this into another group and call this the head. Alright, so for this I'm going to enable masking. And then I'm going to enable animated layer order. Alright, so good. Next thing I want to do is I would like to create like a grid. Right, I need a grid that I can work with. So I'll just call this my grid. And then from here, I'll just use this grid shape builder here. I want it to be 4 by 4, so I'll just drag from here all the way to here. Okay, so I don't want any color, I want them to be transparent. Alright, so I'll just turn off the fill, and then for the stroke I'm going to leave it at black. Okay, so guys, this is my simple grid, and I'm going to reduce the opacity for the grid, so I'll double click the layer and set this to 50. Okay, good. Next thing I want to do is I want to come over to my head layer and I want to start creating my face. Okay, so from here I'll call this my head shape. Alright, so we'll go in and start creating our head shape. So I want my, first of all, let me just I want to crop this guy, so I want to crop her out. So I have just the head, then I'll scale her in. Right, so I just want the face to be visible. So from the head shape, we'll go in and start creating. Oops. Create our simple circle, or our sphere this time. Alright, so I want the sphere to be positioned exactly at the middle of this body. I had initially created a style. I called it the girl skin. Alright, so I'll just assign this to the girl skin. Okay. I guess I'm having an issue here, so let's see. Opacity should be back to 100. And that was an issue we had. Right, I think is this opacity. Okay. All right, now so everything is fine. So from the girl skin, let me quickly show us how you can create a new style if you want to. I'll just come here from the style window. I'll click on new, and I'll name this skin. Then for this skin, while it is selected, I'll just change it to the color I want. So I'm going to repeat the same thing so that we can see the whole entire process. Okay, good. So you can see now we have in here we have girl skin. So I will delete the former one. We don't want it. So what we have here is just skin. Okay, so I will now assign the skin, the new skin I created, assign it to this. Okay, so let's proceed from here. I think I want to make this a little bit circular, spherical. Okay guys, so this is our head shape. Let's proceed. Next, we'll click add a new layer here. I'll call this our mouth. Good. On the mouth layer, we'll select the sphere, and then we would create something. Okay, so let me just reduce the size so it's a little bit smaller, a little bigger. Okay, so that's our mouth. Let's bring her up a little. We don't have a nose for now, so let's keep that. Let's get into creating the eyes. So I'll fix this into a group. Now I'll call this the eyes. Alright, so for the eyes, I'm going to enable masking once again. Okay, and then this will be my eye. Alright, so right here I'm going to create sphere. Rotate. Right, I'm going to sharpen these two parts by clicking Ctrl P. Okay, so we have that. Right, so I don't want it to have carry the skin color, so it will just be white. Then the outline will be black. Okay, so I'm going to add something here. Okay, so we use the width tool to remove all the width for all these parts, then increase for this part, remove also for this part. Okay, so I think we have something like that. Okay, so next let's fix now eyeballs. So I'll create, call this my balls. Okay, so here I'm going to create a sphere. Make it a little bit brownish. I'm going to add an outline, a highlight rather. Simple highlights, make it white. Remove stroke and make it white. Okay, so I'm going to increase the width for this part. Alright guys, so I think this is good for our eyes. Then I'm going to call this my left eyes, make a duplicate of this and call it my right eyes. Okay, so I'm going to still fix both of them into a group and call this my eyes. Okay guys, we have it. And then the right eyes, I'm going to flip it. See, we have the both eyes well flipped because the origin is exactly at the same place, so the flip worked perfectly. And then Alright, so next thing we're going to add is, call this the brows. In the brow, we're just gonna, draw something. So I'm just gonna draw. Okay, guys, that's it, guys. Right, so we've got this. Let's proceed. Next thing we're going to fix is, let's call this, nope, this is not what I want. Let's create a new vector layer and call this our hair. So from the hair, let's create the front hair. So let's create the front hair. I'm going to select just this. Let's create a simple circular shape. Okay, so we're going to create a new style for the hair. So we'll name this our hair. Right, so we'll just pick the color of this hair to continue. So I'll just pick the color of this hair. Alright, so now I'm going to turn this to a sharp, then I'll just pull it up, add much more sphere here. Okay, so let's make more modification to the hair. The outline should be the same color with this, but maybe a little darker. So I'm just going to darken it a little. Then I'll reduce the size. Okay, so we have this. Reduce the size and turn off the scale. Okay guys, we have this. Also for the skin, I think we can, because we don't want this outline here, so I'm going to change, possibly reduce the outline for the skin completely, just make it very tiny. Okay guys, we're almost here. Okay, so the next thing we work on is we're going to fix in the ears. So here I'm going to just create a new shape and call this the ear. Okay, I'm going to fix in the ears now right now. So I'm just going to draw. Push it out. I'm going to make it bigger. Alright, so I'm going to disable masking. Right click and then say don't mask, and I want it to be below the hair, if possible beneath the head shape. Okay, good. So we got one of the ears. I think it's too much. Let me reduce it. Okay, so I think this is just fine. I'm going to add just a little drawing. So I'm going to have this. Oops. Oops. Okay, I think that's fine. And let me increase the length of this. Bring this up, then change. Make this bigger. Okay, I think this is okay for here. Right, I'm going to call this the right ear. Make a duplicate, call it the left ear. And then I'm going to flip this. So once I make a flip, it will appear on the other side. Alright, so that's the beauty of ensuring that your character the grid is well positioned. Okay, so that's it guys, we've done this. Let's just create a vector shape outside of the hair. I'll call this my hair 2. Okay, so push this up. So on our second hair, we're going to be creating the larger, longer back hair. So I'm going to select this, then I'm going to disable the crop so that we can see the length of the hair. Alright, so let me just crop this so we can see the possible length of the back hair. So right here, I'm going to draw my let me use a square this time. I'm going to assign the hair to it, okay? So I'll push this in. Okay, so I'm going to select just this part, pull it down, then I'm going to add the shape, pull it up. Okay, I'm going to add one more here. I'm going to convert this to make them curved. Click Ctrl M just to have them curved. Then I'll add more curved shape here just to okay, so we have this. Alright, so our character doesn't have to be exact. But at least so just so we can get the idea. So I'm going to draw the circular thing on top. Okay guys, let's proceed. Next thing we're going to have is let's work on the neck. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to create a new shape and call this the neck. Alright, so we want the neck to be above beneath the ears, and we don't want it masked, so we say do not mask. We just create a simple tiny shape. We'll assign the color of the right guys, so we have our neck. Okay, so the next we'll work on now is, I think I want to reduce the size of this jaw. Bring this lower. Closer. Okay, so next let's work on the body. Right, so let's fix in the body. I'm going to fix it outside this frame, and then later we'll scale it down. So okay, so let's call this the new vector, then fix this into a group, then call this the body, and then we'll enable layer mask, animated layer ordering. Or rather, I'll call this, let's undo. Let's undo. I don't want animated layer ordering for this. I'll call this the torso. Okay, I'll call this the mask for the torso. Okay, so let's go on and create the body torso. So let's just use a sphere, rectangle rather. Okay, so let's create a new style. Call this the cloth, and give it this color. Right, so let's assign the cloth color to this. Okay, for the skin, for the cloth, let's turn off outline should be the same color with the body. Right, good. So let's proceed, guys. Push this up. I want this to come down, so let's select both these. I'll enable masking. And then here I'm going to add new layer. Okay, so let's add the hands. So I'm going to add the new group. New vector. Fix it into a group and then call this arm. So right now I'm going to create the hand. So I'm going to click here. Alright, so I'm going to fix this into a group and call this my hand. Okay, so we're going to go into the lengthy process of creating the hand tone. Okay, so I want to make sure the hand tone is here. So like we did earlier, we're going to call this our palm. Right, so we'll just create our palm here. Alright guys, so we are done with the left hand, or the right hand rather. Okay, so what we'll get into now is we're not going to flip this hand yet, because what I would simply supposed to do here is, okay, let me call this my arm. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do here was to just flip this, make a duplicate of this, and then make a flip it, and then we have it exactly on the other hand, on the other side. All right, so we're not going to be doing that right now, because we have not. I want us to rig this arm first. After rigging, then we can get into, or pardon for that, I think we can just, do that right now. Okay, so let's move this in. I think it's extruded too much, so I'm going to select everything. I'm going to move it in a little. Okay, fine. And then the hands, I'm going to move my hands as well. I'm just going to move them, move. Okay. All right, just want to make sure everything is symmetrical. Okay, so we have that, guys. I think this shoulder is extruded too much. Let's bring it in. Bring that in. Then this side, we're gonna bring this in a little. All right, so we're not actually just trying to make it look exactly perfect, but we need something that looks appealing to the eye. So that's why I'm going through this stress. Okay, so all right guys, so we have that. Let's proceed. Let's get to the legs. All right, so before the legs, let me get to, from here I want to fix, so I'll call this my left arm, call this my right arm. Okay, and then this hair, I'm going to fix it into a group as usual, and I'll call this my back comb, because we're going to be fixing more things into this layer. And then this right here, we're going to create a new vector. Then on this vector, we'll call this the back cloth. Right, so this is going to be the back of our cloth. So from here, we can just create a new simple, just use a circle and a sphere this time. Right, so we'll just push this in until it fits. Then we'll drag this out, down. Okay, so this is going to be my right, so this is the back of my cloth. Right guys, so on top of the back comb, we'll start creating the legs. So I'll create a new layer and call this, then this new layer, I'll fix it into a group, call this my leg. Right, so I'm still going to name new leg. Okay, so right here, I would start creating my legs. So guys, let's get into that. Start with this sphere. Okay guys, so that's for the leg. So next I'm going to create a new layer. Then I'm going to call this the foot. Then I'll go ahead and draw the foot. Okay guys, for the foot, I'm going to fix it into a group as usual. Call this a foot because I want to enable masking. Then I'll double click this, enable masking by hiding all. Then the next shape I'm going to create on top is going to be the fill for the shoe. So let me just call this the shoe. Okay guys, so I'll just create something here that should just work for my shoe. So I'm going to give it the same feel as the shoe. I'll just add sharp corners here, here. Then I'll pull this down. Pull this down. Okay, so from here, I'm going to just darken this layer so it looks pretty, feminine. Okay, so let's pull this up and pull this sideways. Front view for the shoe. Alright, so I think this is just fine. This is perfect. Alright, guys, we're doing it. We're almost there. We're doing it. Okay guys, so we've got the leg. So what we're going to do is to just come to this leg, call this the right leg. Then we'll make a duplicate, call this the left leg. Okay, so right now we're going to flip the left leg, make a flip. Right guys, so you see we have the legs just where we need them to be, exactly at the middle. Right guys, so we have it. One thing I should work on also should be on this torso. So on these graphics I'm going to add shades, so I'll just select this. I think I already have something here that I like, so let me select this, copy it, then come to these graphics and paste it here. Right, so I'll just, what I'm going to do is just drag this down. Okay, so since we have this masked, so we can even pull it out completely. Right, so still paste what we have on our clipboard, just paste it back here. Right, so this will basically just serve as the shading, right, the shading for the cloth. So we just have something that looks like a shade for the cloth. Okay guys, this our neck layer. Neck, we're going to move it out of the head. Alright, so let's move it out of the head and move it beneath the torso. So let's have the neck right here. Okay, so we see our neck is directly behind our torso. So on the graphics layer right now, we're going to do something. We're going to add a sphere. Okay, so we're going to add a sphere, make it wider. Okay, so we're going to make it white, and the outline, we're going to make it the same color as this, then tone it down here. Right guys, so now on the cloth, we're going to be doing something. Alright, so we're going to be adding 2 points, sharp corner points. Add one of them here, then add the other here. Right, so that we can pull this down. Pull this down and then increase the curvature. Right, so we want this to be very close to the neck. Also, this should be very close to the neck. Right guys, so we've got the neck, got everything in place. Right, so the next thing we can work on right now is let's scale this girl. Let's scale her down. So we'll be scaling her with this. Now let's scale the girl alone. So I want to scale her down so that she's exactly somewhere same size with this. Scale her up. Let's do the same for the reference picture. Alright guys, so we've got our girl, and the next thing we get into now is we'll now have to go in and start rigging our character. Start rigging it so that we can get her to look to so that we can animate her. We'll start giving her a rig so that we can have her rotate in the 3D space. Okay,